that's a new exhaust setup. Damn, that sounds nice. The best part about it is that it's valved. So I can just turn it off like that. Okay, so we are on our car. That's the front, that's your third cat. It goes through the single pipe here, that's 2.25. And then it Ys into these two, which becomes 1.5 inches. And then it passes through these quad resonators. I guess these are twins. This is also 1.5. And when it does come out, it joins into here, which is 1.68, give or take. And then that just continues all the way out through the rear mufflers. So what I'm gonna do, what I just did was just cut a section off here. I'm gonna do the same thing here, just remove this, make a cut down there. So this whole section remaining from here to like here, it's gonna get pushed down into this, and I'm gonna put the valve up there. Okay, so we just cut out the rear pair of these resonators. I used this little tool I borrowed from AutoZone. This thing really cuts nice if it's new. Okay, so we got that center pipe down. I had to take it off this hanger. Wasn't too bad, just wiggle it out. So we have this whole section now, so I'm going to connect that back there and then hopefully put this valve in between to fill that gap in. Okay, let's see if I can do this one-handed. So I measured, remember? So this was 1.5 on the resonator side and 1.68. If you do the math with like a 0.12 inch thickness, so it becomes like a 0.55 or so, which means that this will fit directly into this nice and snug. Sorry, it's hard, just like that. And if you leave room like this, you can easily either weld it or clamp it on. I'm going to be clamping it. Alrighty, so we did manage to put everything in and fit it all in. Here's your valve, and it's going all the way back. So I just had to cut a little section off here, just a little bit more, so that these could actually fit in and clamp them together. But as of right now, I am very happy with how things turned out. Oh, and one more thing, I do need to put a hanger in here, because we used to have this hanger in here, but we obviously moved everything down. So I'm going to try and contrive something so that this gives the middle part some stability. Alrighty, so I have wired this guy up successfully. So what I did was run this wire through the back seat. So obviously we're going to start the wire here. It's going to be connected to the 12 volt. So I ran this under this fuel pump relay. So you have these little tabs. You just have to take out 4 of them. Just turn them to the side and they come out. I made a little cut inside this, I guess this seal. And then I fed this wire through under here. And that one comes out under this tray. So this is that little panel. I have the wire running just out of that, and then it's just falling. And I put this across the heat shield. So across that heat shield, and it connects to the valve there. It has enough clearance. I don't think I'm concerned about that. I'm just tying this together here and keeping it secure. Here, it is quite drony in here with the valve open, and when you're cruising, it's essentially a straight pipe, so it's bypassing all the mufflers and the resonators, so you kind of have to expect that. Wide open though, sounds really nice. I'll do some pulls here later on. I just want to make sure there's no cop sitting here up ahead. So yeah, I'll show you how it sounds with the valve closed currently. It's really quiet, which is exactly what I wanted. So while you can hear the exhaust note a little, it's definitely not loud, it's not drony, and super comfortable. Here's some valve closed action. You can still hear it. That's just a little bit of how the exhaust sounds. I think that this car definitely needed that. Gives you a lot more character and it's a lot more fun to drive now. But I don't think I'm going to be sticking with that 100%. I just think that it's a little too raw for my taste. I think I need to, you know, tweak it at least a little bit. Maybe add in a resonator just to tame things down, but still keep it loud. And that's the beauty of this exhaust. With the valve, you can have it loud and also not sounding, you know, as gnarly. And when you quiet it down, it's just almost stock. Off throttle, there's no drone. But on throttle, just like this, you get some drone, you get some vibrations. Just like that, so if you're cruising, I'm just gonna keep that off. So it's not all perfect. I do have a couple of flaws and issues with the exhaust. I got this from AliExpress, and obviously they're all made in China, even the ones from Amazon or whatever. But the gearing that rotates the valve is a little bit loose, so if you put it... Is that a cop? It's not a cop. Is it? No, he's got a custom plate. So that's the first problem. The second problem that I have is that I do want that resonator or something. I have an old Vibrant that I used on my TL, so I'm going to try and fit that onto here just to quiet that straight pipe out a little bit. It should make the tone a little more balanced and more not so raw. So I'm gonna definitely do that the next update, I guess. So that third problem that I have with the exhaust is that I think there's a little bit of a loss of torque, especially in the low end. I think that's because the cutout just sort of ends just halfway through the car. Now that's an emissions problem in terms of, like, you know, us breathing the exhaust if you're standing still. But also I think that because you don't have that full length of pipe, it doesn't accelerate the gases. And I do enjoy how the car sounds with the valve closed too. It still has a nice tone to it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys, just give you an update. Get those subtle pops too around 3000 RPM. That's kind of fun.